In addition to the office of the private physician, this kind of guidance is offered in Planned Parenthood clinics and more in the clinics of public hospitals.
Literature here, you can take it home, discuss it with your husband. If you've made up your mind when you are at home, please call the clinic back and change your postpartum appointment.
Lack of birth control information has been a primary cause of excessive multiparity, especially among the poor.
This is the female reproductive organ. This is the womb or the uterus where the baby normally grows.
Every serious study undertaken indicates that members of all socioeconomic groups in the United States, regardless of race or national background, would prefer to have families of limited size and do make use of family planning services when they are available.
Well, I don't want no more children. I think that's more than enough.
Your husband agrees?
Yes,
Yeah, I think you have plenty.
We did want a little girl, being that we have all 6 boys.
Oh, my gosh.
But, well, that's just too much anyway. We'll just have to do without that girl.
How have you been feeling since the baby was born?
Okay.
No problem?
No problem.
When you were upstairs, did you go to the lectures about...
Yes, I did,
And Mrs. Fredericks talked to you about the various methods that we have available?
Yes, she did. She talked to us about the different ways that they could help us in this program.
Did you find one that seemed to interest you?
Yes, I found that the hoop or loop, I think is what they call it, is the one I'd like to.
In the clinics, just as in the office of the private physician, patient choice is crucial.
Have you seen one of the loops?
Yes, we've seen them. I've seen one when I was in the hospital.
They're just made out of plastic, you know, and we straighten them out in this fashion to put it in, and then it just automatically snaps back in its little loop shape. And the white part of the loop stays inside the uterus or the womb like this, with the threads coming out through the mouth of the uterus into the top of the vagina. And I just sort of like to have you feel these threads so that you know what they're like. And the loop here too, just feel this. When you examine yourself, as long as you can feel just the threads, everything's all right. There are some problems with the loop, and you have to understand about this before we get started, or you might get discouraged. But, for instance, there's liable to be some cramping, like a, do you have cramps with your menstrual period?
Not usually, not unless I've been working a little hard before, but otherwise I have pretty good menstrual
There's liable to be
periods.
some cramping for, oh, some women tell us 2 or 3 hours, some say 2 or 3 days. Some say they have no problems at all. For a while after the loop's been put in, just a little vague sort of cramping feeling low in your abdomen. Your first few periods that you have, your menstruation, is likely to be quite heavy enough to worry you a little bit. But this is expected, and that's why I want to tell you about it, so it doesn't scare you.
Success depends largely upon the care with which the physician explains the chosen method and the degree to which he responds to the needs and concerns of each particular patient.
This is a safe method. You're not worried about that, are you?
No. I have a girlfriend say you could get cancer.
Well, no, that's not true.
I know the nurse explained it to us when she
You
talked
can
to us
get cancer,
upstairs.
but this doesn't make the chances any greater. You still have the same chances that any other woman has.
Well, I didn't believe that. And plus, I
And
read a little bit about it.
one of the advantages of coming to see us every year is we always do the cancer test, of course, and we find it at the earliest possible moment.
And if I want to have a baby later, can it be taken out?
Yes, you just take this out, and then you're perfectly easy to become pregnant again.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, of course, with the pills, too. Now, no matter whether your period lasts 2 days, or 7 days, or 4 days, you always start taking your pills on day 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The day that you start taking your pills is not determined by when your period stops. It's determined by when your period starts. It's always 5 days after the first day of bleeding. Okay? So your period could stop here, or here, or here, or here, or maybe even here, but you still start the pills on day 5. Now, the pills are taken 1 pill a day every night. The nighttime is the best time to take them, for 20 days in a row.